Hey, this is Trav from Nestfriend, and you're watching Chris, the old-ass retro gamer.
Hey everybody, Chris, the old-ass retro gamer here, and welcome to day 19 in the Licensed Video Game Challenge. So what do I mean by a game licensed from another game? Well, there's board games, there's RPGs like tabletop RPGs, card games like Uno, that kind of thing. When it comes to something like this, there's only one choice for me. I've already mentioned in one video that cyberpunk is my favorite sci-fi subgenre, so for this topic I had to choose Shadowrun on the Super Nintendo. There's also a Shadowrun game available on the Sega Genesis. It is completely different from this one. While I do enjoy both, I do enjoy this one a lot more. Each has its own strengths and weaknesses. I think this one comes out on top because of the way the game plays and the story that it's trying to tell. So Shadowrun is essentially Dungeons and Dragons in the future. Orcs and elves and trolls are commonplace. Technology is all over the place. There's hackers that'll plug themselves into a computer and use their mind to surf through the Matrix. Back in the day, it was called the Matrix. They can't do that anymore. I think now it's just called the Net. Shadowrun stole a lot from William Gibson. How about that? And it's super interesting. I've actually played the tabletop RPG a couple times. I've enjoyed it every time I've done it. But the thing about this game is I had no idea what Shadowrun was when it was released. Actually, my friend Charlie, who I've mentioned a few times on the channel, goes by Epic Die Studio, picked this game up, and I came over to his house one day and he was playing it, and I was like, what is this? And I watched him play it, and the game is an isometric action RPG. You play as this guy named Jake Armitage, who, at the very beginning of the game, you get to watch him die, and then he wakes up in a morgue. He's been resurrected for some unknown reason. He has some clues on his person, and he's trying to figure out who killed him and why. And as I'm watching Charlie play this game, I'm like, this is kind of awesome. When you talk to somebody, you have really early conversation trees happening with like multiple choices of topics to talk about with other characters. I've never seen that before in a console video game. But when you're running around in the isometric view, yeah, it takes a little bit of getting used to with the controls and all that, and sometimes the aiming is a bit problematic. Tons of gunfights, you can upgrade all your gear, your weapons. There's two different types of play styles. The isometric action RPG stuff, and also when you decide to jack into the Matrix. And that's where this and the Genesis game differ. Here, it's like playing Minesweeper. It's not all that complicated. Basically, you have like a series of blocks, and you have to move from block to block. When you go onto a new one, you're told if there is some black ice, which is essentially a mine. It's a virus, according to the Shadowrun terminology, in one of the blocks around you. You have to pick the right one to go onto that doesn't have the black ice on it, otherwise you're going to take damage. And you're trying to find some piece of information. Once you do, you jack out, and you've got some XP, some money, some new information that you can pawn off, another conversation tree add-on. It is just really fun. I love the way the game is put together. It escalates gradually. It doesn't get too difficult. The music, the graphics, the gameplay, the story, just the world in which the story takes place is super interesting to me, and I love every bit of it. Sure, the cyberspace scenes in the Genesis game are a hell of a lot better than this, but I do believe that the overworld stuff in here trumps everything in that game. It is super fun, and was my gateway into cyberpunk. After this, I looked at Blade Runner a whole new way. Liked it so much, Charlie and some friends and I made a fan film about this game, and it is not good. You will never see it. And there you go, day 19 in the Licensed Video Game Challenge finished. I hope you enjoyed the game that I chose. Have any of you played Shadowrun? I actually do hear quite a bit that people did not know that there was a Shadowrun game on the Super Nintendo, but they were aware of the one on the Genesis. Sometimes vice versa. It is so weird. Like, Shadowrun is just this license that people don't really pay much attention to. If you've played either of the Shadowrun games, let me know which one you prefer in the comment section below. And if you decide to make a response video to this topic, yeah! Link it below in the comments as well. Let me know that you've done it. Make a video on this topic, any other topic I've talked about so far, maybe all the topics. I don't care. I would love to see any and all response videos made on this series. Make my geek heart proud. So until tomorrow's new topic in the Licensed Video Game Challenge, I am Chris, the old-ass retro gamer, signing off.